Not the same anymore. Christo Sume Ayen Simpi. 27 minutes after 8 here on Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. Yesterday, the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice, CHRAJ, delivered a mixed verdict on its investigations into the construction of the National Cathedral, upholding parts of the complaints against the project's coordinators while dismissing other parts. Well, specifically, the Commission said that the allegations of breaches of mandatory procurement proceedings under the Public Procurement Act, Act 663, as amended by Act 719, was justified. A detailed report is there. We'll share portions with you, but we've been joined on the phone line by private legal practitioner Martin Pebu. Good morning, Counsel. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, good morning.
The song says, things are not the same anymore. Christo Sumi Ayen Sempi. Your initial comments?
Yeah, it's true. Like Christo Sumi Ayen Sempi. Look, this cathedral that the president was or is championing, the Bible says it. That look, God doesn't need edifices. Rather, he needs to be in our hearts. As to live good lives, godly lives. What the life the president has been leading for these 8 years, this public life in terms of governing this country, it's far away from the godly life that God wishes for us. So this cathedral is just hypocrisy. Nobody is asking to build a cathedral. And God has shown him that, yes, it's hypocrisy. That's how the cathedral project is failed. So he said they were going to commission it sometime last year, right? You see, it's nowhere even near a proper foundation.
Right.
That's God exposed Kufuor for his hypocrisy. He thought that, it's true that quite a big chunk of our population are so conservative. We are so thinking like, God every day, God. But you go to Europe and you see that people even brought this Christian God to us. They don't worship like the way we do. And that is fast changing. You heard Otabil say the gospel truth, that God has no hand in the selection of our leaders. It's not a godly thing, yet we get up. So those days, when he was coming, they were praying, we need a godly man. We need a God-fearing man.
The battle is the Lord's.
The battle is the Lord. You see the hypocrisy? And we are all wise. If you come and quote me in the Bible about selecting a leader, I'll not even mind you. Because we saw the battle is the Lord. We need a God-fearing man. And that man is a Kufuor. You see how it has this is splintered. You see how it has shattered. So we've become wiser. He was gambling on the fact that a large chunk of Ghanaians are still that conservative, still pray, and not that enlightened. We still pray like, God will come and do everything for us. When in Europe, they don't do that. We've also become wise. We travel out there. We see how they do their things. They even separate a lot of Christianity or religion from the state. They separate it. You see America, how they've been having those fights. Even today, that children are not allowed to pray in schools,
right.
etc. We've learned about it. So if they were thinking that we are so ignorant, and so anything once you say is God, nobody will talk. Too bad for them.
Now, Counsel, the report has been referred to the Office of the Special Prosecutor and the Attorney General, and then the CHRAJ says that to prosecute them if necessary, even though in that report, CHRAJ says that the contract that was awarded was void ab initio. How does that sound to you?
Yeah, it's been coming. It's been a long time coming. When citizens rise against a project like this, when you are wise, you have to step back and watch, because when too many people, you see, democracy, right, is the wisdom of the masses. So for me, CHRAJ has vindicated the masses, because the masses saw that this is unnecessary. This is unnecessary. And Kufuor persisted in going on. So you see that in the process, he didn't even pay heed. He didn't even watch which laws to obey. And now the law has ensnared in the board. So that's the right way to go. It's good CHRAJ has pointed out that the contract is void ab initio. So let's go into the investigations and let's see if there is corruption behind it. Yeah.
I'm reminded of the $4 million NCA scandal where the former Director General and two others were jailed. Now, they were jailed because they did not also follow the procurement process. If you look at the tall list of men of God and their followership and the request, or if you like, the suggestion by CHRAJ that they should be jailed or prosecuted if necessary, that raises some concerns that this could turn the country upside down if we decide to go that route. What do you say?
No, but the law is the law. Didn't we warn these men of God? Professor Martin, with his mouth, when MPP was in opposition, was not the one in town. Nyansafwe Muwahi, Nyansafwe Muwahi, and today the law is ensnared. It shows the hypocrisy. Please, should I say, let's go on. If we find the evidence of corruption, the law has to be applied. Because Martin said it, that he is a wise man. So if you go and sit on a board and you don't seek legal counsel, and now you've been found to have breached the law, and they are saying there is possible corruption, now who calls them? So people like Martin don't deserve any sympathy at all. Maybe when Kufuor came in and started looting us, if Martin had come out with the same thing, he would have gotten a lot of sympathy. Media men went several times. He said, oh, now he chooses to communicate to the media through text messages, etc. So now what should we do? The law is the law. Let the law go ahead. If they prosecute, let them prosecute. Because we warned them. People kept saying this is unnecessary. It's unnecessary. And they kept pushing. I think they think Ghanaians are still that not enlightened. Because when you just say anything about God, Ghanaians are scared. Everything. Oh, once you say religion. This religion they've used to dupe us. This religion they've used to loot us. It will not grow wise.
Some of the men of God on the board of the National Cathedral pulled out at some point. Now, the report from CHRAJ actually mentions them that at the time when the contract was being given, this contract which is void ab initio, they were on it. But then along the line, they pulled out. Can they be forgiven?
No, you can't just say be forgiven. At the time the law was breached, if they were on the board, you see the CHRAJ report says they were there.
That's right.
That is it. That's the law. That's the law. We are on the law. If we do that, then the law would never work, especially as this one. You see, the difference is that this one, there was a public uproar against the project. So if, as leaders, you say you want to do something like that, people are saying, no, we don't have enough jobs. We don't have enough jobs. The churches have their own cathedrals and the rest. So let's say that people kept complaining. I know, yes, sometimes people may complain wrongly. But this one, they got it right. And these leaders didn't listen immediately. Like in Ward Mills, Eastwood Anaba, Duncan Williams, right? They resigned later. And who else? And then the professor, is it Omenyo?
Yes.
4 of them. They resigned, right? That was later. Let the law take its course. Let's finish with the investigation. Because CHRAJ is saying that there is a reasonable suspicion. CHRAJ suspects corruption.
Right. And corruption-related activities.
Exactly. So at this stage, it's a suspicion. So let OSC go in, and then let's see. If we counter that, yes, there's really corruption, that one, we have to let the law take its course. When it comes to the punishment, then we can see what can be done. But once corruption is found, no. We have to let the law take its course. So let the investigations by OSC go on, and then let's see what the OSC finds. Because that is it. It's not as if the case is meant to go to court straight away. By saying that OSC has to gather the evidence. CHRAJ is saying from what it is, there is that suspicion. And of course, you see the things Okujeto is shown. The Reverend Minister in America, he's gone out for $6 million, etc. You can see, you think you just give $6 million to a Reverend Minister in America for nothing. So as for the suspicion of corruption, it will linger on. So let the OSC go into the matter, and then we'll see what there is.
Now, How soon do you expect that the OSP will dispense of this matter?
We cannot put absolute timelines. Corruption cases take years to investigate. You remember, if you want to see a classic example, remember the FIFA matter, the Blatter.
Right.
Years before,
right.
there was always those rumors that Blatter and co were corrupt. I see that the FBI had to lie low for years before eventually they got the evidence out. So because of that, it's difficult to say that OSC can finish this within a year, etc. Sometimes you need to do painstakingly, slowly. So at this stage, it's impossible to lay out a precise timeline, but maybe we can let the conversation continue. As it continues, we'll get better insight, and then we'll see what if we are able to prescribe a timeline.
Would you be surprised if nothing happens to the men of God and the directors and everybody else involved in this National Cathedral scandal?
No, I won't be, but for the reason that if there's no evidence, then nothing can be done. So please, let's repeat. CHRAJ didn't find all the evidence on corruption. They say from what they see, the circumstances, everything, they suspect corruption. So now, asking OSU or Attorney General, but we all agree that based on our history, now OSU should do that work, not the Attorney General. So, and the law. So OSC is now going to go into it. So if there is no evidence, then nothing can be done. But even this, the fact that you see CHRAJ has come up to the suspicion alone, is a great indictment against these men of God. Next time they should listen. If they think we are still in that era, catch not God's anointed, those kind of antiquated principles. Sorry. Citizens can see sometimes better than these men of God, because God doesn't reside in only the leaders. God resides in all of us, ordinary people. So even this alone, for CHRAJ to have seen it and suspect corruption against them alone, it's not a mean achievement. It tells these men of God that you should be careful. They don't have all the wisdom. You see, those days, I keep telling them, they don't see that Ghana is changing. People are traveling a lot and seeing other things. That's why I said the people who brought us this religion, go there and see. Don't go to church and do those things like we are doing. Go there and see. Everything, they listen. Then the Ghanaian will be saying, God, they listen. So this man of God just thought that perhaps that could have covered the project. But they forget that, no, the people who will still do that may not be the people doing the public commentary on radio and TV. Generally, yes, those of us who are doing the public commentary on radio and TV, we've traveled far and wide. So we've seen how they say, you see, even Israel, why is it that they are not sitting down and saying, and you give them the rest to come down and strike their opponents? You see, they are fighting a war.
What? The best in the morning is
on
dance,
etc. They are not sitting and saying, God will do this, God will do that. So our leaders, the church leaders need to realize that we stop thinking that they are everything. No. We stop thinking like that. We see that we also have brains. We can think. That's how we go to school, etc. So they just lost touch with reality. They thought that once it's anything God, nobody can. Newborn dog. Why would anybody not try? Especially when we don't see God. I think Otari has the second preaching where he says God is not revealing anything to anybody. God is not revealing anything to anybody. So they should stop those things. I listen to preaching. If you haven't, I'll tell it to you after this message.
Right.
Some of those things, as we keep growing, we saw it. Then we saw that, what are these church leaders teaching in Ghana? Some of them, the things they are teaching, no. That's brainwashing for illiterate people. They brainwash everybody. So they should see that our society is changed. Our society is changed. Even in America, where they put on their coat of the currency in God we trust. That's not how they do with religion. They are using their brains. And some people think here that we should put our brains aside and what the pastor says is law. That is gone. If what pastor says doesn't make sense, you're supposed to tell the pastor, I bet this you're telling it doesn't make sense. Go and try it somewhere. So that's what is happening to them. So let it go on.
I see. The president at his inauguration in that plagiarized speech says, "I shall protect the public purse." If you look at the National Cathedral project, which he christened the priority of all priorities, and what it has become now, it's obvious he can't finish it. What should we do with the National Cathedral as it is now?
As I said, democracy is the wisdom of the masses, right?
That's
so
right.
Let's have a conversation. I haven't thought to that much time, to be honest. This is the first question. All I just know is that if the project will not go on, that one, I'm very certain of it, that no, we shouldn't go on with such a project. But as to what we should do with it, that one, I think I'll need some time for reflection. Let's all reflect on it. I haven't looked at it. I haven't looked at it.
Lawyer Martin Kpebua, thank you very much for spending your morning with us. As a private legal practitioner, we're grateful. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Great. Okay, now let me give you 3 reasons. At the time when Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams spoke at the inauguration, we brought a stone from Israel, right? We bought something from Israel, Helen,
We flew it in, that's right.
Yeah, we flew it in and we paid money for it, and with all the ceremony, blah, blah, blah. That ceremony, Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams, one of the people who has been mentioned to, be prosecuted if found guilty, in this whole scandal.
Yeah.
He was there. He spoke. He was there and board member. Along the line, he pulled out together with the likes of Reverend Isuda Naba and Doug Hayward Mills.
Yep.
I think Pastor Mental Tobel as well. They all pulled out. Yeah. But listen to him.
As I've already said, that this is prophecy coming to pass. Number 2, this is biblically correct. Number 3, this is not about the president or the presidency or any political party. This is about God, country, posterity, and generations yet more. And only time and eternity will reveal that for which we are gathered here today. Anything that is possible is not God. God never gives anybody a possible task. He gives us impossible tasks. So that when it is done, all will acknowledge the rule, the intervention, and the place of divinity. So as challenging, as complicated, as difficult as this project may be, I am persuaded with everything in me that this is of God and is biblically correct. And ladies and gentlemen, all of us who got involved or opposed it will be judged by posterity. The role we play for or against will be judged by posterity. Whether we will rise on the right side of history or on the wrong side of history will be determined by our attitude. The stand we take for or against, I submit to you and persuade you by the message of God that for once, let us not subject this project and history in making, which is something to do with God and country, posterity, and generations yet unborn. Let it not be subjected to the reasons of men, to debate, to politics. Let it not be subjected to controversy, but let us, for once, go beyond debate, reasoning, political correctness, and do something for the benefit of not just you and I, but for benefit of our children and generations that are yet to born. That when they come here after and they see this project, it will be said that for once, their fathers, their great-grandfathers and mothers did something not for their profit or benefit, but for the profit and benefit of others. For once, let us not fight. Let's give this project the benefit of the doubt and allow the few years ahead of us to justify and to judge us whether the stand we took to be on board and to get on board or against was right or wrong. Only time and only posterity will tell. In conclusion, this project the benefit of the doubt and allow the few years ahead of us to justify and to judge us whether the stand we took to be on board and to get on board or against was right or wrong, the profit and benefit of others. For once, let us not fight. Let's give this project the benefit of the doubt and allow the few years ahead of us to justify and to judge us whether the stand we took to be on board and to get on board or against was right or wrong. Only time and only posterity will tell. In conclusion, I encourage you to be part of something bigger than yourself. It is easier to do something, get involved in things that are easy to be done. But protests like this type and kind that has nothing to do with you and I, but has everything to do with generations yet unborn, will always create the kinds of controversy
In the
and the
morning
kinds of
is on
resistance and opposition
92.7
we are
Sunrise
facing.
on
Not
3
just
FM.
about the National Cathedral, about anything new, anything that has never been done before, anything that men cannot comprehend, appreciate, and understand, we always react to it.